9 habits that I followed in order to become a Crorepati at the age of 23, and how you can implement the same even if you're a complete beginner to make a lot of money, or at least be in the right direction to make generation amount of wealth. Now, back in the days when I was starting out my journey as an entrepreneur, what used to happen is I used to Google a lot about self-help and personal development, because of course these things are very critical towards how successful you become. However, a lot of these self-help gurus told me that I have to wake up super early in the morning, and then I have to basically check my sleep score as soon as I wake up. Then I have to go take a cold shower, and I have to eat certain type of vitamins, and then I have to eat ashwagandha,
and then I have to meditate, and then I have to use a standing desk and stand and then work, otherwise there'll be some other kind of issues.
And if I don't do all these things, then I just won't be rich. And unfortunately, what started happening is I started reading a lot about these things. I started buying these things. I started Googling concepts like biohacking. And as a result, what started happening is my business started going down. Now that is shocking, isn't it? Now, why exactly was that happening is because I was spending way too much time taking care of these minute little things, which even though are very, very important, but consuming a lot of my personal time. And as a result, even though I thought I was being productive, but when I really looked at my calendar and the amount of work that I actually got done, it wasn't a lot. So my goal after that was that, as soon as I realized that, hey, all this stuff is really not helping me, in fact it's hampering my growth, I decided to give up everything. And what I decided to do is I started to think about things which I can actually do, and at the same time it won't take so much of my personal time, that I can focus on my business. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about is during this time when I was trying to do all this biohacking, eating healthy and all the things that you read on Instagram and whatnot, what started happening is I was feeling miserable, because I was doing all these things, and even though they are like really, really good for you, my dopamine, which is like something, it's a chemical present in your brain, it was so suppressed, right, that I was just not feeling happy anymore, and I didn't feel joy in anything that I did. So I started to realize that this is just not working out, and I decided to give up on all those habits. And what I started to do is I started to notice myself and my own body and the things, the way I operate. And what I realized is that rather than doing just a bunch of things that people on the internet are telling me to do because they are so-called good for you and it will make you successful, why not focus on a few things that I can do in the long term? I can do it consistently and not give up on it, and still at the same time be happy and be able to manage my business successfully. What I did is I narrowed down to around about 9 of these habits, which allowed me to stay consistent for a long period of time, and I want to share those habits with you. And just before I did that, I want to give you this perspective so that you don't expect some sort of laundry list and you don't start implementing all of these things all together. Otherwise, you will also be miserable. Go step by step, one at a time, and that will allow you to make constant progress. So let's get into habit number 1, which I used to become a Crorepati at the age of 23. So habit number 1 would be focus. Now recently there was an interview done by Warren Buffett as well as Bill Gates, and the thing that they said that made them successful the most, one thing, was focus. Now that is something that I was personally suffering from a lot, because I used to be distracted very easily. Whenever I would see something new on the internet, I'd be like, oh, that thing is cool, I should try that. Oh, that new venture is really cool. Oh, affiliate marketing is great, drop shipping is great, I should do every single thing. And that is what's going to make me successful. I was trying to become Elon Musk too early without even realizing that Elon Musk is able to run those businesses because he's Elon Musk and has a team worth of multi-7-figure executives working under him. But I'm not that, and as a starter, it won't be a good idea to do everything. So I decided to cut down on literally everything and decide to focus exclusively on just building one type of business, which is called as high ticket mentorship business. Now, if you don't know what that business is and you still lack awareness regarding that, and you need help deciding which kind of business you should start specifically for yourself, then I recently recorded a video on my YouTube channel that I want you to check out, where I do a comparison of all these businesses and explain you what exactly high ticket mentorship is. I definitely would recommend you to go check that out right after you're done with this video. So the best thing that helped me to really focus, and I know this will be very difficult for a lot of you, was to delete social media. Yes, so roundabout in 2018, I did one of the best things that I've ever done in my entire life, which was I deleted Instagram. No, I didn't delete the app exactly from my phone. I deleted my entire account. And it was so good. After deleting it, after a week or something, I started feeling so good about myself, because whenever I would open that application, I would go into depression. I would start seeing other people trying to live this life that I wasn't living, and that used to make me feel low and demotivated, and as a result, I was just feeling miserable all day. So I decided to delete that app, and because of that, it really helped me increase my focus. The other thing that I deleted was Facebook, because I deleted my personal profile because of the same reasons. Every time I would go to that platform, it would make me feel really bad. And the only Facebook account now that I have is something that I use to run my business, because I have to run ads on the valuable platform. Sorry, Mark. So yeah, that's the thing. But the social media that I did not delete for some reason was YouTube, because there was a lot of valuable content being posted over here. Again, don't get me wrong, you could end up wasting so much time on YouTube, but it really comes down to person to person. For me, I'm more gravitated towards valuable content on this platform. That's why I still continue to use it. But other than that, I deleted all of my social media apps, and as a result, my focus just skyrocketed, and things just really helped me. I was able to stick to one business rather than get distracted every single day, because I wasn't seeing ads or new posts from some random people telling me about some new business opportunity every single day. So that really helped me to gain back my focus. The other thing that helped me to gain back my focus was doing a little bit of meditation every single day. Now please don't quote me on this, and I'm no self-help expert on meditation and whatnot, but I literally just went to YouTube and decided to just type meditation in 10 minutes or something, plug in my earphones, and what I would do is I would just try to focus on my breath. Every time I would breathe in, I would just say 1, and when I would breathe out, I would just say 2. And that's it. I just continued to focus exclusively on that, and trust me, it's very difficult because you keep getting these thoughts, but your goal is to focus back on the breath, and this is kind of like you training yourself. So yes, doing meditation can definitely help you, and I would highly recommend that you go practice that skill. Now, you can use the rule of Malcolm Gladwell, 10,000 hours. If you practice meditation for 10,000 hours, eventually you will get good at it. Do I want to get so good at meditation? Probably not. That's why I try to spend around about 10 minutes every single day, because that's realistic. Back in the days, I would used to do like 40 minute meditation. It was just not working out for me, and I wasn't able to balance my business, and that wasn't being very productive. So habit number 1 is focus, and in order to improve your focus, delete social media and also focus on meditation, because that really helps. The second habit that made me a crorepati at age 23 was saying no. This means a lot of my friends would usually call me and they would say, hey, let's go out and let's party, and they used to do that every single day. In fact, they still do, but every time I would just say, no, I gotta work, no, sorry. Because earlier when I was like in college, anytime somebody would call me and they would say, oh yeah, we're gonna have so much fun, let's go clubbing or whatever, I used to get so distracted, and I would be like, yeah, let's go, because I wanted that validation to be around my peers, and also I wanted to have fun. Come on, I was like chilling, right? But then what I realized is that if I have to become good at something, I really need to sacrifice. And if I don't sacrifice, then my goals will become a sacrifice. And this is something that I learned a lot by observing people like Kobe Bryant. If you watch his documentary, what you would notice is that he would, he said in his documentary that he would go and see that there were all these parties happening in his college, but he would just say no to them and would just practice playing basketball. If I also learned a lot from Sam Owens as well as Alex Becker. Their YouTube channel is really good, talking about these concepts, where I grasped a lot of my information from. Now during this time, a lot of my friends would judge me, and they would say, oh, this guy, oh, he's so all the time full of himself, just sitting at home all day, he has no life, he's so boring, oh no, he's not gonna do anything. And they still do, and honestly I don't care, and it doesn't even matter, because I know what I'm doing. And most people think I'm miserable and I'm not actually having fun, but doing all this really brings me joy. And don't get me wrong, I do go out when I want to, but I just don't do it every single day, because doing that is just not manageable, especially when you're trying to grow a business. The third thing that really helped me out was consuming content. Now, this is a little bit contrary to what I said initially, where you have to focus and delete social media, but I did tell you specifically that 1 or 2 platforms are still out there that I consistently use to educate myself, because I think if used correctly, you can gain a lot of knowledge from these platforms. For example, you can use the internet in a good way and a bad way, but it's your choice to decide how you want to use this powerful thing. So that being said, it's for me, the 2 platforms are YouTube as well as you listening to a lot of podcasts. Why do I do that? Because I listen to interesting things and interesting people who have actually done what I wish to do, and those people are so gracious enough that they'll go out and share their information for absolutely free on these platforms. And I'm absolutely surprised why they are doing that, but they are, and that also inspired me to do the same with you, so that anybody who is in the position that I was in 3 years back or 5 years back when I was starting out and I had absolutely no clue regarding what to do, hopefully these videos also benefit you. So I do consume a lot of content. I watch a lot of Joe Rogan. I listen to a lot of Beer Biceps. Those kind of podcasts are really valuable, and they provide you perspectives that I couldn't even imagine existed, right? So really helpful on that. The fourth habit that made me a crorepati would be journaling every single day. Actually, I won't say every single day, but whenever, every other day or whenever I get the time, what I like to do is I like to reflect back upon whatever I have done on that particular week, also on that particular day, what went wrong, what went right, and what are the learning lessons from it. Because a lot of times what we forget is that we are learning so much every single day and we are evolving so much as human beings every single day, but we take this time for granted because we are so obsessed about the micro details that are happening while forgetting about how this is impacting our macro picture. So just to give you an example, these lessons that I'm talking to you about, this came from my journal. If I wouldn't have journaled all the way along that what's really helping me, what's not helping me, then how would I know if I'm moving in the right direction, and how would I go about correcting if I'm not going in the right direction? So it's very important that you do that. Another way that I journal would be also sometimes I would just record YouTube videos about lessons that I learned on that particular day, and that also helps me whenever I'm like sitting and I just want to see what I was doing last year, I would just go watch a YouTube video of mine, or I would just go read a journal of mine, and I'd be like, man, I've grown so much within this period of time and I feel good about it, and it makes me feel happy. And I would highly recommend that you also maintain a record of like that for your life, so that you can keep a list of learning lessons for yourself. In fact, there's a video that I did on my YouTube channel which I actually spoke at an event where I'm talking about my learning lessons since the time I launched this online business, and you can go check that out if you are interested. The fifth habit that I really feel proud in doing on a consistent basis, in fact I won't say that I do it every single day, but at least 3 times a week I make it a habit to go to the gym. So the reason is not because I'm trying to be a bodybuilder or something like that, or I'm like trying to get 6-pack abs. Of course getting that would be would be really awesome, but just not a priority right now. But just going to the gym and working out, and what it makes me feel right after the workout, it's just wonderful. That feeling that you get after you've had a great workout, it's just like, I don't know how else to replicate the same. So and also, like, what I've noticed is the days I go to the gym, I'm just generally more productive, energetic. I'm talking to people and I'm interacting with them, and I'm just happier in general. So what I've noticed is that working out makes me happy. And also, if you think about it, in the long term, if I am doing workout, then it's going to make me healthy, active, and going to help me live probably longer, because that's the right thing to do. I would highly recommend that you don't have to necessarily go to the gym. You can play any sports or do any kind of physical activity just to keep yourself moving. I'm not saying go follow some sort of rigid diets and like go into some restrictive workout programs, because if your goal is to become a really successful entrepreneur, I mean, sure, you could probably balance that out, but I've personally noticed that you have to do them in intervals, right? You have to have like kind of of seasons in your life when different things kind of become a priority, and doing that consistently for me at least hasn't been possible. But like every single day and religiously, but otherwise I get distracted with my business. So I like to balance things, right? Not make it super extreme, but at the same time not make it so low that I'm just like becoming really fat every single day. That's just not going to be cool. The sixth habit that has made me a crorepati at the age of 23 would be delegating lower value activities. So what I realized at a very early age was that there are certain activities for which you can get paid a lot of money, and then there are certain activities for which you can be you're just wasting time. So just to give you some ideas, I used to spend a lot of my time thinking about what kind of food would I eat, how would I reach from destination A to destination B, and how would I go about doing certain things which were just not very important. And I also started doing that exercise within my business, like which are the activities which are 100 rupees per hour and which are the activities which are 1 lakh per hour. And if I could make a list of all those activities which are not very productive for me, and I can sort of delegate them, then that will allow me to actually make a lot of progress. Now, just to give you an example regarding food, what I did is, I decided to get a meal delivery service. Then I also got a chef who makes sure that I'm eating all right, and I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. And if you are like wondering, Rohan, but I can't afford all that, don't worry. You could probably like decide to on a Sunday get like bunch of meals, prepare them together, and just like eat them for the next 7 days or something like that you can do, which could be much more manageable. But this way you won't have to think about what you're going to eat every single day, and it's just going to make you feel confused and exhausted. And I've done that actually back in college. This is what I used to do. I didn't have like a lot of money to get all these things that I'm getting now. So you have to kind of do that and kind of think about, or just take a piece of paper, and what you do is just put an alarm for every hour of your day and just start tracking your activities, right? And just start understanding where exactly is your time going, and then just make a list of activities that you can probably eliminate, right? The best thing you can do is, like, if something is not serving you, for example what I told you earlier, scrolling on Instagram, just delete it. And then the second thing would be, let's say there are certain things that you can automate, for example maybe preparing meals in bulk for the next 3 days, 4 days, or whatever is possible. And then the third way would be to delegate. So once you have enough money, maybe you can get a chef or some sort of meal delivery service that will allow you to do the same thing. And now, as I told you earlier, I'm also doing that in my business. For example, there are things like replying to emails and whatnot. I decided to first automate that. Then I decided to automate other things like, let's say, operations related activity like collecting payment and all that stuff, sending invoices. And then I realized that there are other things which I can automate, like doing sales calls. Then I automated my marketing, and then right now I'm basically just managing a bunch of things, right? So this is how you go about delegating activities as your hourly value keeps going up. And if you haven't calculated your hourly value, and if you don't think that you're worthy of enough, I would highly want you to reconsider, because it starts from day one, right? You don't just suddenly magically start being worthy. You start thinking that you're worthy from day one. You start respecting the value of your hourly time, and as a result it will allow you to then slowly, gradually automate, delegate, and remove these activities. The seventh habit that actually made me a crorepati at the age of 23 would be running ads. Now, if you haven't seen my ads, then I don't know, like probably soon you will, right after this video. So but the thing is, what I learned early on is that if you find a platform, it is allowing you to serve impressions to other people. Like literally, I sometimes get surprised. There's no easier way available to humankind if as long as you have a great offer, as long as you have the right pricing, as long as you have a differentiated niche, you can literally go package up valuable advice and services, run advertisement to your services, and make a lot of money. And what I realized is, like, when I first invested 1 rupee in ads, it gave me 10 rupees back, because earlier the ad costs I wasn't spending a lot, and that's why I was getting massive returns. And then slowly, gradually, I started realizing every time I'm investing 1 rupee in ads, that became 10. Then I put the 10 rupees back into ads, that became 20, and then eventually the returns start decreasing. Round about now we are doing 5x or something like that, but still what I realize is that every time I'm putting more money into this machine, it's actually producing more income back. So with the help of compounding and doing this consistently for a long period of time, I was able to realize that you can use ads to make a lot of money very, very fast. And that is one of the best mechanisms that I would recommend to anyone who can afford to and obviously has the basics figured out. So suggestion would be invest in ads. It's really awesome, especially if you are running a business. It will allow you to scale really fast, and then eventually you can play the content game like what I'm doing right now to grow even more. The eighth and the second last habit that made me a crorepati at the age of 23 would be planning out my week, planning out my months, planning out my quarters, and planning out the year. Now, often planning out the entire year in advance doesn't work out. That's why I kind of like have a main theme for the year. Then I divide it into quarterly goals, and every quarter, of course, goals keep changing, things keep happening, especially if you're a startup. However, maintaining a to-do list, just using literally a pen and a paper and making sure that you can write down, okay, this is what I want to do this particular year, this is what I will be doing in quarter 1, quarter 2, 3 and 4, and then dividing that into month-wise objectives is very critical. And then further on, dividing them into daily objectives really helps you even more. Now, one tool that I use to manage my day-to-day would be Google Calendar. It's so helpful that I actually have written down what time I would sleep, eat, and literally do calls and manage calls in case I'm not available on anyone, and basically the day I'm going for a vacation, whatever it is, I put it on Google Calendar, and it allows me to manage my day, and it makes sure that I'm sticking to my monthly, quarterly and yearly goals every time I use that particular software. Last thing, or the ninth habit that I want to reveal that made me a crorepati, and honestly this is one of the most important ones, and I'm very surprised that most people do not understand this, because it's just so easy, and if you can learn that, you will also succeed at a much more exponential rate. So the ninth habit would be investing in mentors. So this is, some of you might be like offended, and you'd be like, oh no, this guy's telling me to invest in mentors, I have to give money. And what a lot of people do is they have this perspective when they see somebody who's trying to sell some sort of coaching or advice online. They are like, oh, this person is a scammer, he's trying to take my money, right? But what you must understand is, in today's day and age, you can literally reach out to anyone on planet Earth, pay them money for their valuable time, and learn what they know so that you can excel at a much more faster rate. I recently read an article where this guy who's like a Bitcoin millionaire or billionaire paid Warren Buffett I don't know how many $1 million for just 1 hour of his time for lunch. Now, I'm sure doing that must be very valuable, because he would have learned so much during that 1 hour. For example, Warren Buffett would have told him that, hey, make this trade, don't do this, don't do that. And that on its own would have probably saved him millions and billions of dollars. And then another scenario I would like to give to you is, just imagine two people. One would be Raj and the other one would be Sham, right? Raj goes to the gym, and what he does is he just picks up dumbbells, goes to Google some random workouts, and tries to figure this things out on his own. Maybe he's doing the right thing, maybe he's not, but he has nobody to check and understand if he's doing the right thing or not. But let's say Sham, what he does is he finds a qualified person who's like the ripped person at the gym, and he's like, hey, make me like you. And then that person exclusively creates a custom tailored plan exclusively for Sham and guides him regarding how he can go about making a physique that is kind of like the trainer himself, and make sure that he watches his entire workout, gives him the right kind of nutrition plan, and does every single thing that is required to get in shape. Who do you think has a better chance of succeeding? And if you are smart enough, you would understand that Sham has a better chance of succeeding. I totally get it. Not everybody is qualified enough to teach you, right? And not everybody is a good mentor or selling the right kind of thing, which is the reason why I would recommend that you do some research, try to understand, or maybe watch some of their YouTube videos, read about their blog articles, try to understand more about their customers, or even try to contact their customers to understand that they are legit. And only if you understand and align with their values that they are giving to you, then only go and invest in them. That would be my biggest recommendation. But I would highly encourage that you do that, because it will save you so much time, so much effort, which you would probably, I don't know, I have to spend decades learning it by yourself. Now, I personally have a coach literally for everything. I have a coach for literally helping me work out, a coach for helping me literally dress and figure out what I should wear and what I should not wear, a coach who literally helped me do this entire setup. I have a coach who guides me on my YouTube stuff. I have a coach for my ads. I have a coach for my sales team. I have a coach for my support team. I have literally a coach for every single thing. I pay them money and I don't mind doing that because I don't want to spend the time figuring this stuff out on my own, which could be very, very, I don't know, painful. Because I personally went through that journey myself. I used to think that, hey, I'm very smart, I'll figure out all this stuff on my own, or maybe I'll just go to BitTorrent and download that course and try to understand from there. But the course is not going to help you. It's the person that you need to learn from. You have to get their attention and you have to make them understand your situation. Make sure that you're looking to that mentor in the eyes and asking them, hey, tell me what you see that I'm not seeing right now. Guide me regarding the beliefs that I have right now which are stopping me from being as successful as you. And then you will become ultra successful. So those are the 9 habits that I personally used to become a crorepati at the age of 23. Now look, right now if you're watching this video and you've seen the other videos that I posted on this channel, you have to make a choice, right? Now that you know the habits that made me successful and you also wish to make a lot of money this very year, at this point you basically have 2 options. Option number 1 is that you can try to do all this alone and try to figure it out by yourself. And this process would be slow and time consuming. It would require a lot of trials and errors because you won't know what to do. You would stay stuck in the same hamster wheel because if nothing changes at all. And you would have to incur additional costs to learn business development, hire a sales team, develop a marketing system, and basically figure out all this by yourself. Or option number 2 is you can utilize the number 1 habit that all rich people that I know follow, which is to find somebody who has walked the path that they wish to walk and work with a mentor so that they could save a lot of time as well as money. So option 2 basically means you can save time, your most precious asset, according to Warren Buffett, because you can make money whenever you want, but you can never get back time. You can do it right the first time, you can have security, consistency, and predictability, and you can get accountability to ensure that you don't give up. And you will end up saving a lot of money in costs that you can avoid. Now, if you pick option number 2, I want to invite you to my free live masterclass, where I will be revealing exactly how you can start and grow a successful online business this very year. Without investing a fortune, without operating on low margins, without giving a percentage of your sale to anyone in affiliate commissions, without blogging or posting selfies, while working from literally anywhere in the world, using a laptop and an internet connection, by selling your knowledge digitally and attracting high-ticket clients globally that pay you premium prices. So who exactly is this masterclass for? Well, this masterclass is for coaches, consultants, authors, and experts who are currently in business and making some sales. It's also for SaaS business owners wanting to sell high-ticket items like Salesforce. If you sell info products, one-on-one or group coaching, consulting, live events, or done-for-you service. People who would like to take their knowledge and turn it into a profitable business, because this works for beginners as well, as long as you are knowledgeable regarding whatever you are offering. And this is for those individuals who don't believe in the 9-to-5 Anuanti rat race system. So click the link in the description for more information and to attend this masterclass live so that you can really interact with everybody and we can actually conclude this entire video series. I'll only be doing this once live and there will be no replays or recordings of the same. Our meeting software only has room to host around about 1,000 people and over 5,000 people have registered for the same. And as a bonus, you get access to our private community to network with like-minded business owners if you decide to register right now. And another bonus that you will get by attending this masterclass live would be that you can ask me literally any question that you desire at the end of the masterclass. And trust me, our clients pay lakhs for this, and you will be able to do that for absolutely free, because videos just like what you're watching right now, they are great, but live interaction is even better. So click the link in the description for more information and make sure that you attend this masterclass live. If you don't attend this masterclass, this entire video series won't make sense to you and you'll be missing out on a lot. And at the end of this masterclass, I'll be revealing a sick deal that will literally blow away your mind. My team actually warned me not to make this offer at this masterclass because I'm not joking. It'll literally be a steal for the value that you'll be getting. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. However, I'm taking my chances so that you can crush your goals this very year, because what I want is for you to start getting high ticket clients and you doing an online business this very year so that you can avoid recession. So click the link in the description for more information and to attend the live masterclass. You'll also get the option to join our free community and interact with like-minded people and get access to all these bonuses for absolutely no cost. I look forward to seeing you there.